everyone. Welcome back again to our
Yay!
second episode with Sneakers and High Heels with
Yeah,
Tania de la Oliva and Daniela Hurtado. How are you today, Tania?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm very excited and
We're
pumped
on a
up.
roll. We're on a
Yes.
roll here. Yeah, I
Yes.
know. I'm excited. Yeah. So today is going to be the two of us.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about friendship, business relationships, and competition. Something that
Yeah.
nobody likes talking about, but I think we got to talk
We
about
have
it
to.
because we are competition.
Yes.
You are my competition.
No, that's a topic that I think, especially at our age, like after 30, which I'm slightly after 30.
you are in the 30s.
But like that's important. How are you building friendship? Like how can you find a friend that you can actually trust with your life, friend that is not gonna judge you, that's gonna be like easy, disappear for a month and then come back and you're friends again. You're still friends, not again. You're still
Right.
friends.
Yeah.
So I think that would be exciting topic to talk about.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, and then I think a good way to start talking about this would be how we became friends,
Yes.
right? Because
Yeah.
when we met, we were like, okay, well, you're fun, I'm fun, but then we kind of like went to
Split
our own
up.
separate
Yeah.
ways. And I think, well, the one of the biggest reasons, two big reasons, our husbands had friends,
Yes.
and then we were like, we didn't have any other option that see each other.
Exactly.
We're like, okay, I gotta see her. We gotta hang out. No, but I think you were
Yeah,
nice, you
no.
were fun, but you were always alone. Like there was nothing else in front of you but your husband.
Yes.
So sometimes I was like, well, she's just focused on that for now, and I respected it. But then after, remember, I always told you, wait until you have kids.
Yes.
Wait until you have kids, and then when you had kids, like this new friendship was
Yeah.
born, and then we started. We had more things in common then.
Because after I had a kid, I became a real estate agent exactly at the same point.
Well, that's true.
So
That's
it
true.
was-
So you had a kid
Yeah.
and you became that was like we had three
Yeah.
things in common now.
Exactly.
Husbands, real estate, kids, right?
and in the same company.
yeah, and same
So-
company as well. And I think after we started spending more time together, we started to realize, okay, we're very similar in some
Yes.
things, but we're also very different in some other things.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the special things about our friendship, that we share the same thoughts on some things, but
Yeah.
sometimes we have opposite beliefs on other things, but we still have
yeah.
we still have that balance, and we can. I mean, I
Exactly.
like that because I don't like. I mean, I like feeling that we think different. So you have another perspective that I
Yeah.
am. That doesn't mean that I'm right. But I like hearing extra opinions and hearing other people what
Exactly.
they think. So I
I
think
love that. We complement each other.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. And we can show a different point of view for each other on the same situation, which I love, because sometimes you're like thinking, no, this is this way. And then you hear, but what if in reality it's the other way? Oh, heck, I didn't think about that. And I love that part
Yeah.
of our friendship.
yeah.
The other thing about our friendship, which I wanted to raise,
Be careful what you say, Tanya.
no, but because we are competitors, right? Supposedly competitors
Yeah.
in the business.
Well, there's so much competition.
Yes, but for at least for me in our friendship, I'm not a competitor with you. Like in the business, I am sometimes more happy for you when you get a deal than I do. I'm sometimes like I'm celebrating at home more. Oh my God, Jimmy, Daniela got new listing, and I am so genuinely happy. And I don't know, like I think that there was a point where I realized, hey, she's my actual friend because I can be happier for her than for myself. Like I can actually like care for her happiness more than for myself. And that was amazing for me at that point, because I was thinking, as an immigrant, you're immigrant who moved here without nothing, no friends, no family, you just starting completely from zero. Finding a friend like that is so important.
Yeah. It took a little bit of time.
Yes.
It took. So, what year you got here? To Denver?
19.
19. Okay.
And
And
we
we
became
were-
like friends in 21.
Like right after, after COVID.
Yes.
After when 2021, our kids
Yeah.
were born.
yes.
Yeah. So
And it still took a little time to settle, and then all of a sudden
yeah.
we just clicked,
We
and
clicked.
I loved it.
And yeah. And that's something because we started spending more time
Yes.
together, like, going for walks. I remember we'll go for walks
Yeah.
and just
I loved it.
Not like kids played it, but it was like a mom played it.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
It's more like kids in a strollers, and we are having some fun talking
Yeah.
and venting, because that's also important part of a friendship.
Yeah.
I love that. Again, the other thing that I like with you, that I can vent and then walk away, and I know you're not gonna be sitting there judging me, and you're not gonna go and talk to somebody. Oh my God, she's so fucking stupid. You know.
Well, no. No. I mean, I do. Sometimes I tell you I don't.
Yeah.
I have a different opinion, but I
Yes.
respect it, and I tell you what I think, and that's it. And I think that's part of a friendship, being honest to each other, and then telling things, no filter. I like, and I mean, we have never had a hard conversation, but still, I mean, I feel like I can tell you whatever,
Yes.
without
exactly.
you getting mad at me.
Yeah. No, that's what I like. I mean, I
Yeah.
enjoy that a lot. I enjoy our friendship, and I enjoy that there could be a moments when, okay, we don't feel like seeing each other for a while. Like, okay, I just need the time for myself, and that's it. And then we get together and we can spend hours talking and no noticing where the time is. And just like in this podcast, when we need to, like, okay,
We need to keep it
time
short.
is already here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I love about friend. Well, I love a lot of things about our friendship, and
Yeah.
I'm really like thankful that we have
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. And I'm sure this podcast is gonna keep
Yes.
helping us stay together and grow together. So,
Yes.
which is really cool. But do you want to talk about maybe friendship in business?
That's a difficult part.
It's hard.
Yes. But again, like us as a friends, it worked for us. And again, I think because we have this ability of being happy for each other and just move on. But I can tell that this is really hard.
It is hard.
building, and especially in our business, because there is like, okay, how many, like it's 1.5 million agents nationwide, right?
I think so.
And I think Colorado is one of the biggest.
Like 300
Yeah.
or something like that. 300,000.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Which
I'm not
makes
really
it
sure.
like we're in a crazy competitive space where sometimes people can get a little too much to themselves, and you're like, oh my God, you gotta get a deal. I hate you. Like, not exact hate as a word, but this is you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think it's really, really hard thin ice we're walking on in this business, and in business in general, I would say.
Yeah, I would say in
because-
general.
And I think it's very important for all of us to realize that we are not competitors, we're colleagues. We're here to help each other grow and help our clients, right? Which I don't feel like it's happening right now for a lot of people around, because we're all like fighting for our place under the sun, how we say.
Yeah.
And
Especially with the new thing coming up with the commission, things are gonna keep getting harder. So
Yes.
we gotta be ready for that.
yeah, we're gonna ready to fight.
Fight, right? Tanya likes fighting. Why? What is that about you that you like? So you-
You know, okay, one thing that I have to explain to everybody, that my first language is Russian, and a lot of things that we say in Russian, I translate it straight to English without understanding that,
Yeah,
hey, in
same.
English, it might sound a little bit difficult.
Too harsh.
Yes, like sometimes I use word hate, when in reality, I don't
don't
have
like.
hate. Yes. If it's just, I don't like this situation, but I would say, I hate this situation. It's just the word that we use. It's
So
just
don't get
different.
offended if
Yeah,
Tanya's
please.
or me say a word that you don't like.
Yeah. Make sure to come and say, hey, did you mean that or did you mean that?
Yeah.
And probably
We always mean the best
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exactly. So we got to be honest
Yes.
right here. Okay.
In this business, I also feel like maintaining a good relationship and good reputation between you and other agents is very important.
Yeah.
Like, I just had a client who is investor. So we're putting an offer for a property, and I already worked with that agent before. And he comes back to me and he calls and he says, hey, I really want to work with you. The deal we had before, and he remembered because deal we had before was 2.5 years ago. And he's like, that deal was the easiest deal I ever had to do. Like, you were so on top of everything, and you were so nice. You were so like communicating in a great way that I want to work with you. There is another offer that is higher, but I want to work with you. And I'm explaining to my seller how important it is to work with an agent who actually stays on top of things. Well, seller chose money so far, but and I understand that, of course, but this is an importance of having a good relationship with everybody you work around. And for me, like, I think this is one of the topics in business in general. People need to realize, hey, stop being all to yourself. Like, yes, today you have a deal, you have to fight for it, but always remember, you fighting for your client, the other agent fighting for their client. You're not fighting between each other. It's your clients. So have a good relationship with another agent. So in the future, if you get to work with them again, like, they choose you, right?
Right.
They push that.
Yeah, and in a transaction, you want to have a smooth transaction.
Exactly.
You don't want to have to be fighting against this other agent. I mean, I like having that sweet spot where, like, I'm representing my client, you're representing yours, but we are professionals, and we've been doing this more than once.
Yes.
So you've been in my shoes, I've been in your shoes. Like, keep this professional, and let's do the best we can to make it fair for everybody, right? So I think it is very important. I mean, in any business, in any business, because I think that's why realtors we do a lot of networking, because we got to get along with people. We got to meet a lot of people, and then the nicer you are, you know, the more known you're going to be, the more people are going to like you. So I think it's in a sales side, but it also, like, on any business side. So in general, you got to keep a good relationship with people around you.
Yes. I want to jump a little bit back to previous conversation, more about friendship, because you are immigrant, I am immigrant.
Yeah.
You moved here when you were, what, 20?
I was 24.
24.
I was 24. And I had all my au pair friends. I mean, I had a lot of friends, and then I will go out to party and I will do all these things. But when I was done being an au pair, then all of my au pair friends went back home. And then I had my kid, and I was completely alone. I had my husband, like, but you know, sometimes you just need that friend because you want to talk shit about your husband.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like, really, it was not easy, and then it took me time. I would say years, and I will feel very lonely. But I kind of learned how to live with it, and you know, like, I still have my friends from back home that I know they're gonna be my friends even if I don't see them. But it was hard, and I'm sure you felt the same because you only had your husband and your husband's family, and that's it. So it's important to create that community around you, that your tribe, the people that are, like, it doesn't have to be 10, 20, 30. I mean, if you have, I will say, if you have at least one person,
you're lucky.
That, you know, you have that communication, and then you have that relationship, and you can trust. I think one is enough. I mean, at least to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is because when I moved here, I was 26 years old, and I am very social. Like, I love people in general. I have a huge family, and we would always get together for all the celebrations, for all birthdays, for whatever, for just evening to go and have a tea together. And when I moved here, I struggled so much. Like, I would call my friends and I would talk to them for hours on the phone. And first half a year I couldn't work because I didn't have a work permit.
Yeah.
So I would be sitting at home and I would be struggling with my life because I was like, why did I do that?
And knowing the thing that you came and then COVID.
Yes.
So you were, I mean, you didn't know anyone, and you were already stuck in the house. So it was even harder to create, like, to be exposed or being out there just to, like, be around people.
And then there is this thing about language when you are, like, all worried, is people understanding you right? And the other thing is jokes that sometimes I make
Everybody
and nobody
was, like, super quiet on your jokes.
Yes. And I'm like, Jesus, back home everybody would be laughing so hard. And here
you're not funny
nobody
here,
understands anything. Yes. And you know, like, we have this group chat in Megastar, and sometimes people write something and I joke back and nobody understands a freaking thing that I said.
Well, sometimes people understand. But I know what you're saying. A sense of humor is different.
Yes,
the sense of humor is different. Yeah.
Yes, and my sense of humor is also a little sarcastic, and I think sometimes people get offended with that. And I still need to learn, and I needed to learn that. okay, here you better be quiet. Here you better don't joke. People might not understand. People might get offended. Like, so I needed to change a whole personality of mine to blend in.
Yeah.
And this is back to our friendship where I can feel
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
Like, even if I said a stupid joke, you would understand that was just a stupid joke. And you would tell me, Tanya, you're
what a
becoming
stupid
Jimmy.
Only Jimmy laughs off your
yes.
jokes.
No, but that was really hard journey for me. And I still, to be honest with you, still a little struggling on that because I like that. Again, I like sense of community. I'm always saying I'm a team player. I like community. I like big family. I like getting together. And it's different. It's really different because mentality here is different.
The
culture
culture.
is different. Plus to that, I don't have my tribe that I was building since I was like a kid, right?
Yeah.
Day by day. I don't have my family here, as well as you. You don't have like your brother, your mom and your dad are away, and the same for me. My sister is my best friend, and she lives in Russia, and it's first of all the time difference. Sometimes we don't even have chance to talk on the phone because it's night at her place when it's morning here
Yeah.
and the way around. So building friendship for me really hard here.
Yeah.
Really, really hard.
Yeah.
And
But I think don't look for it. I think that's something that I kind of like. I'm not gonna be looking for friends. I'm just gonna like, if somebody comes to my life and I like that person, then that person is gonna stay. Otherwise, I'm like, I don't care.
yeah,
You
no,
know.
I like your mentality
Because I'm
about
very
that.
like, oh no, yeah, no, okay.
I'm
But you are more
yeah,
like you
Yeah.
always crave for
yes,
more.
yes. And
Yeah.
I actually try a lot. Like before saying, okay, it didn't work, I would try so much. It's been 5 years of me living here, and I still try with my husband's family. Like, hey, do you guys want to go together for vacation? Do you guys want to go together for this? And I always get back either silence or no. And I'm telling already, Jimmy, when am I going to stop trying? And I still don't stop because I like
That's the way you are.
yes.
Yeah.
And with our
But don't get
team, the same.
discouraged when they say no because
Yeah,
yeah.
it's getting already there. It's getting there. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
there is a point where you're like, okay, I cannot try anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to have it, but there is a point where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
F it.
Yeah.
I cannot do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like mom friendship. I like
Yeah.
mom friendship with you because our kids can have fun together, and now we're going to vacation together finally. Because that's the other thing that I'm very pushy. Like, if we're friends, let's go for vacation together. and I think I'm very pushy, right? Let's
Yeah.
have friends.
Yeah, but the good thing is that I don't think if you were that pushy, we will make it happen.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And here where we balance each other, you're more like lay back,
Like, calm down,
Yeah,
Tanya.
like Tanya. Like I come to your house and like, okay, so where are we going? Shh, we're gonna talk to Renzo, but please don't push it.
Yeah, because like Renzo is like, if you push, then he feels like, oh no, no, no.
Oh no, yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna close
So you
them.
gotta start like slowly getting in there.
Yeah, no, I need to learn that thing also.
Yeah,
Tell me about you're a soccer mom, right?
I am.
How is the friendship in that field?
I mean, the community or the soccer team that my son is right now, there's a good sense of community. I will say all the parents are very close to each other. I mean, we see them 4 times a week. So
Exactly.
now I'm like, I come and I hug them and I give them, I mean, a kiss. And if he goes and plays out of state, like, then sometimes we stay together and or at the same hotel, and they become kind of like a second family.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly with them, and then you're sharing that experience of your kids doing sports, which is awesome. So I would say I do have a good relationship. It could be better, but sometimes I just don't have that much time. And then Renzo is the one that is more into the soccer. So the one that takes Luca to practice the most is him. And sometimes well, not all the time, but there's a game or two that I don't go. But when I'm there, I have a great relationship with everybody. Yeah.
And that's the other thing that I want to talk about when you mentioned you're busy. So when you are an adult, you're already busy. You have your family, you have your kids, you have your business to build. where the space for friendship there? Like, where the space for building relationship in there? Because you say no a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think,
these moms, they go out at night.
yeah,
They go to the strip clubs. I mean, they will do a lot of things together that most of the time I don't go. And it's just like, I'm either working or I have my kids or, or I just want to stay home because I
because
became
tomorrow
very
morning,
boring after having kids. I just want to go to sleep at 10, I have to be sleeping.
but it's because in the morning you have to work.
I have to work, or sometimes it's just my kids wake up early and I have to be
Yeah.
awake. I cannot wake up past 7, because like my kids are going to be
Yeah.
there asking like for my attention. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing with you, it's easier because our kids are together and then we work together. So sometimes, like
We're here
it just works.
Yes, exactly.
It just works. And that's a advantage that we have.
Yeah,
I
no,
think.
because I realized what you were telling me. Wait until you become a parent, because I was what type of person? Oh, we are going to club, then we're going home
No, you're
for
so
after
boring.
party.
Why don't you stay up? Why don't you go out and do anything? And I was like, well, wait till you become a
Yes.
parent, and then there you go.
Because I was
And
like
I was
that.
like, take it.
Yes, because I was pushing you that you're boring, and I was telling it to a lot of people. Oh my god, how can you be so boring, guys? It's only 2 in the morning. Let's go and have more fun. Like, let's come to my house for after party. Let's do something. Let's have some movement. Oh yeah. Now with 2 kids,
Now you understand.
no, I need to go sleep because my youngest kid is gonna wake up at 6 in the morning. So hello, my life already ended.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens to me that I count the hours that I'm going to sleep. If I go, like, I know
Yes.
that I have only 6 hours to sleep, and that's important to me. At least to me, sleeping is very important.
Yes.
If I don't sleep, my mood is not that nice.
And you're not so productive.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've been in a business 6 years.
Yes.
How is
Yeah.
the competition for you? Because I've been in business a little less than 3 years, so it's a little bit different for me
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah.
But
I think in the beginning there's competition, but it's also a lot in here.
yes.
At least to me. It's also a lot in here. Oh, he's doing so good. She's doing so good. Everybody's doing so good. Look at them selling hundreds of houses, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then here, look at me, I'm not selling that much, or I might be, but you always try, like, I always compare myself like with the
best
highest,
ones. Mhm.
right? Of course, I'm not going to compare myself to a person that is just starting in the business, right? So, I mean, in the beginning, it was tough because I was like, I will feel very down when I didn't see that I was as productive as other agents were. And it was like not being mad at them, just being mad at myself, or feeling down at myself and not feeling, confident. And I think in this business, if that happens, then you kind of get stuck.
Yeah.
You kind of get stuck, and then getting out of that hole is not that easy. And I think that happened to me a little bit when I had my youngest, that he's 3. Like, I was a mom, I was at home, everybody else was doing better than me, and I didn't do that great that year. But that, to me, I didn't see the fact that I was like, oh, I'm staying home with my kid. I just had a baby.
Yeah.
And then that's something that I always tell you. You just had a baby. You got to give yourself some time. But I was there too. I was in your shoes, and I remember feeling that I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't like it. And then I don't want. I want to be much better. And then things started to change. And then, I stopped comparing myself to others. I stopped looking at the stats. Oh, this person is doing more. This person is doing more. I'm just like, I'm going to do the best that I can do. I'm going to do the best that my ability as a mom let me do. I cannot be the same as the other guys in our company that don't take care of their kids.
Yeah.
It's not the same. They spend, I don't know, let's say 40 hours a week working or prospecting, where I was spending 5. Of course, it's not going to be the same, and that was one thing that last year that I was doing really good. It made me feel like I was better than the other ones, than everybody else, that, because at some point I felt like I was kind of like the worst. But you have to understand that you have priorities. And then at that point, my family was my priority, but my business brain was like, I couldn't understand. But now, going back, I can see that, and then I should have maybe enjoyed a little bit more, or maybe I should have, stopped those negative thoughts. But I mean, the good thing is that I'm realizing that now. And then, like right now, my year has started good. I mean, I wish it was better. But then I'm like, okay, it's gonna get better. And then if it's not the best year this year, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
this is not. This is just. It's gonna keep going. So it's hard. It's more like a mental work. Like, you gotta convince yourself that you're good, that you're doing your best, and then sometimes you procrastinate. Sometimes you waste your time doing things, but then you also have to take accountability of that. Like, you also say like, okay, I didn't do good because I was just laying on my bed scrolling.
Yes.
So I feel like you gotta like put it like outside of everything and see what you're doing, what you're not doing, and then if your family is first, I think that's always gonna be a priority. And then if you just don't have time because you have to be with your kids, then it's just the way it is. Their kids are gonna grow, and then you're gonna do great.
Yeah.
And then if you don't do great, maybe there's something that you need to work on. Maybe you need to get a coach. Maybe you need to find people that support you, or a team that helps you. But I think it's a lot in here that like I struggle. Like, I'm not that mentally strong to say like, this doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. And sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back up again, and keep trying. But the thing here is like, you gotta do it. Like in this business, and I think in general life,
Yes.
you gotta do it.
You know that you actually kind of saved me from that loophole, because when I came to business and I was like, okay, I have to be the best. I have to be the best. It doesn't matter that I just had a baby. I have to be the best. It doesn't matter. I don't have family here. I don't have friends. I don't have like sphere of influence, like everybody's saying, work your sphere of influence. I don't have it. No, I was so hard on myself. And I remember you told me, slow down. Like, stop comparing yourself with everybody else around yourself. Like, stop. Put your attention to yourself and to your family. You had a baby. Now you're pregnant. You're going to have another baby. And I remember that I start repeating it to myself, sometimes with your voice in my head, like, hey, slow down. Like, stop comparing yourself. And I had to go out of Instagram for a month because I couldn't see everybody succeeding and me not. And again, it's not like I want somebody else to do worse. No way. I want everybody to do amazing, but I want to be amazing too. And I remember it was so hard for me. I went black on the Instagram. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a month's break. I muted Megastar WhatsApp chat because we used to send there all the transactions. And I took a break and I was like, okay, now I can keep going.
You had some peace of mind.
Yes. And after that, I finally, not to 100%, but I learned that I cannot compare myself
You're
with
working
others.
on it.
Yes.
And I think I'm also still working on it, because and on not just in the real estate business, I think in real life. You see all
Yes.
those women being super fit and that eat super healthy. And then of course you see that like, I want to be that.
Yeah.
Or you see these other moms who have all the schedules and all,
Yes.
everything. And I was like, I want to be that. And then you see so many things that you want to be, but then you can only do so much.
Exactly.
And then I think that's a thing that not just women, like even men, like
yes.
everybody, kids, like kids comparing themselves to other kids that are, doing all these TikToks or YouTubes. Like, I want to be like him. I want to be a YouTuber now. It's hard, especially with the media. And I think as a person, as a woman, and as parents, we got to find a way
Yes.
of us finding that balance so we can teach our kids how to do it,
100%.
because it's going to happen. To me,
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
And I really don't want my kid to stuck in the same mentality that I was
Yeah.
just like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Because still right now, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, but how are they doing that? Like, how people becoming so successful? Like, what am I lacking? I'm lacking time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You're lacking time. Yeah.
The other thing about competition that I really wanted to talk here about is that, remember that listing appointment that we both got?
Wash Park?
No, that one is the other one.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to talk about that one too, but competition. So everybody's talking, right? Women, we fight against each other. We don't know how to support each other. We're like, oof. well, here's the story for everybody. We got in the same listing appointment, me and Daniela. And
Well,
her,
he was interviewing 10 agents.
yes, yes.
Oh my God.
And I came there and I'm talking to him and everything seems to be very nice. And then he tells me, "Oh, Megastar, I just had an interview just like an hour or two ago with Daniela from Megastar." And without thinking twice, I jumped in and I was like, "Oh, she's great. If you pick her to work with, oh my God, you're gonna win for sure." And I start just like advertising Daniela. And he's looking at me and going like nodding his head. And he's like, "You know what the funny part is? That she said exactly the same about you. None of us got that listing because..."
Aw.
And then he explained that, "Oh, I wanted to work with Keller Williams and they charge less commission and blah, blah, blah." But I was driving back home and I was thinking, Jesus, this is the type of a friendship I want, where she could say, "Oh, yeah, Tanya, yeah, no, but she's in the business just like..." But by that time, it was like a year, and I'm in the business already 5 years, so... But no, she jumped in and she was advertising me to another client who she could get, right? Like you could get.
Yeah.
And I love that so much. And from, I think that point for me was realization, we are friends.
Yeah.
Like this is a friendship. This is an actual friendship where there is no competition. We are colleagues. Yes, of course, we fight for each client. Like we both in the same, exactly the same field. We do almost the same stuff, right? Like to get the clients. But if it comes to like helping each other, we are going to be there.
Oh, yeah. For
And
sure.
then the other one, Watch Park, there was another situation where it was again, and that one was actually between you and me, right? If I'm not wrong.
I don't know. I mean, he never told me how many agents he was interviewing, but she just wanted to get a deal.
Yes.
And I was like, "What do you want?" Okay, let's do it.
And I remember you wrote me, and I was like, "Oh, I also had a conversation with him. We were going back and forth about commission and stuff, but I was so happy for you." And I was sitting there and again.
And I felt so bad.
Yes, and you were like,
And I
"Oh
was
no,
like,
I'm so."
"No."
You started saying, "I'm sorry," and I was like, "No, don't be sorry." I was so happy, and I was thinking, I am actually right now happier than if I would get that deal, because you had a little slow beginning, and I know you were so hard on yourself, and then you had the best year ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, things kind of
yeah.
changed like
all
in
of
the
a
spring.
sudden, yes.
Yeah. So that's
And you
why I
did
keep
so
telling
great.
you, like,
Yes.
things can change in this business. You might be doing really, really slow, but then in a blink of an eye, you're just like, you just got to keep the ball rolling and don't stop if you're not doing so good.
Yes, but that's something about competition in this business, at least between us, that
Yeah.
how we figured
It's
to
a healthy.
build. Yes.
It's a healthy.
It's a healthy competition, exactly. Of course, I'm always happy when I get something.
And you don't.
No, because I know that you didn't.
Yeah.
Because we are in exactly the same, like we do, I would say 80% of the same stuff, right? So, of course, I know that I got it. And in my back of my head, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, Daniela didn't get it, but I got it. Yay. So
Yeah.
there is a healthy competition,
Yeah.
but I would never hate the moment when you get something and I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, and that I think that's the importance of building a good, healthy relationship in a business where you work together. And maybe in the future we can make a team where we're not going to
Yeah.
be competitors anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do feel like before that I need to become better so I can bring a better volume to you and compliment you much better than.
No, I think, you need the time. I think
Yes.
that's the first thing. And you're
Yes,
going to get it.
which
So
I'm
once you
getting.
get the time, I think, and we both have the time, then things are just going to start flourishing like this.
Yes.
We didn't see ourselves sitting in here talking
Yeah,
in a
no.
podcast 2 months ago, and it just happened, and it was meant to be at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the other thing, that our husbands are also in competitive space.
yeah,
They both lenders,
yeah, yeah.
which is when it happened, I was like, oh my God, they're going to think we're following them in whatever they're doing.
I become a realtor, you become a realtor.
Yes.
But no staging, please.
Oh, no, no,
I'm
no,
the
no.
only
I don't
one.
have I don't have a vision, so there's
Okay.
no way I can do that. But yesterday
And
I
we are
talked to Jimmy.
flippers now, too.
Yes. Oh, but here you followed our lead. No, but I love that you're doing it. I'm super happy
Yeah.
because you guys have a great eye. And in my opinion, flippers should be people who care for others and have a great eye so they can make a new home for somebody.
Yeah.
And I really, like, it makes me kind of sad that there is so many not so great flippers out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's business. People are just looking to,
Make money.
make their money.
Yes. But yesterday I was talking to Jimmy and I was like, well, does Renzo knows that you're working with Claudia on 2 deals? And he was like, yeah, I told him. And I kind of asked him, you didn't feel like he was a little upset or anything? And he was like, no, we would never do that. We support each other. And I was thinking, yes,
Yeah.
this is the friendship that
Yeah.
I love.
No, and I know Renzo is
Never
not
would,
like
yeah.
that. No, Renzo
And that's
is
what
not.
Jimmy said. Renzo would never
No.
do that. No,
No.
he's a completely different person. He
Yeah,
would just
he's not like that.
and he told me, I think Renzo is like you, Tanya. Like he shares too much. Like help.
Yeah.
Like whatever he finds out, he will tell me and Jimmy, so I can do the same, so I
Yeah.
can also get better.
Yeah.
And Jimmy always tells me like you share too much.
Yeah.
Maybe you
And the
need
good
to.
thing about this business that I always keep in my head that Cesar told me when I first started, and then I think that mentality has helped me like overcome those slow and hard moments. It's like sun shines for everybody.
Yes.
Like there's clients, even though there's a ton and thousands of realtors, I think there's always gonna be your niche, your people that are gonna like you because of who you are, because of what you can bring to the table, and I think there's plenty for everybody.
For everybody. Yes.
So I just feel like I don't see it like, oh, you're taking my clients, because you're not. Like we're in a big city.
And that's what I feel like when you got it, like when you get something that I was also trying to get. Well, I didn't get it for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Oh no, she stole it from
Yeah.
me. No.
And you also got to keep in mind that we were not the only ones prospecting those
Exactly.
clients. So, I mean, if you get, I'm happier than you get it than anybody else does.
Yes.
So,
Because lately, what they were like, every potential client says there is like 100 people that contacting them, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
yeah, no, it's getting very
Yeah.
competitive out there. So, if you're in this business, you just gotta step up your game, and then make that difference. Be authentic and just
Yes.
show your worth.
Well, what I'm happy about is that we are friends, and our husbands are still friends,
Yep.
and we are in the same business. We can be successful all together, and I think that would be, like you said today when we talked before, that do good and you will get good.
Yeah,
So I think in any business, in any sphere of life, if you do good, you will get good.
yeah,
So be good to people. Stop fighting between each other
Yeah.
in the same field. Like stop
Like,
that
and
race.
stop- or maybe like don't be selfish.
Yes.
Like okay, just and respect other people's values, and I try to do that because I was in that deep hole where I was like, oh, everybody, and I was just like me. No, I was like, well, no, I'm gonna think about others. I'm gonna help others. I'm gonna stop those negative thoughts in my head,
Mhm.
and then my life started to become better.
Yeah.
Still working on it, but I think. It's
But
a
at
good
least
way.
you can start finally sleep, right?
Yes.
Because I had these problems when I wouldn't even sleep. That's
Yeah.
how much I worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're
well,
growing,
yes,
evolving.
yes. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Yeah.
talking because it was important subject for me.
Yeah,
so
it was.
Yes.
You picked it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, and I think, I mean, I see that's really important to you.
Yeah.
And it is important to me, but I'm more quiet and more reserved on those kind of things.
Mhm.
But I'm glad that you brought it up because that helps me open up a little bit too.
Yeah, and I hope it will help other people
Others.
as well because you have to see that not everything is black in this world.
Yeah.
Like there is
There's,
actually good friendships and good possibilities for everybody.
Mhm, exactly. All right. Well,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for listening. And then until next time.
Yes,
All
where
right.
we're gonna have our first guest.
Oh, yeah, our
Yeah.
first guest.
So
It's in the real estate business too, but
Yes.
it's on another
level.
level. Well, another
level,
level,
field.
another field.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, can
I
wait to
think you're
interview
gonna
her.
all love it. Yes.
You will love her. All right.
Yay!
Thank
Bye,
you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.